Shalom, call Allah Yahawah Shalom to the elect. Now, this is just a quick video. I want to speak on a few topics on this. We still have a lot of people that's oblivious to who really calling the shots and pulling the strings, because the people that you see on TV, whether it be the senator, the governor, the president, or vice president, they don't really call the shots like that. It's the people that you don't see, the ones who control the banks, banking system, and all this different stuff like that. The ones who control the resources for real. Those are the ones who really call the shots. When people be like, oh, y'all finna go vote. Whole time, them bankers putting who they want to put in the power and giving them orders. And this video right here is a prime example of, and before I play this, let me get to this real quick. This book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse, let's see. Verse 20 says, for there shall not be reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. And they light that they did have, them hiding stuff and doing shit in secrecy, now it's being put out. Now, let me explain.
Mandating it for any element of the general public.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand it be mandatory.
And no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential.
We're not counting on vaccine mandates at all.
Those are decisions the federal government is not going to make.
You're not going to see a central mandate coming from the federal government.
That's not the role of the federal government.
You know, at the federal level, I don't have the authority to either mask mandate or vaccine mandate. That's not what we do at the federal level.
Definitely not. You don't want to mandate and try and force anyone to take a vaccine. We've never done that.
There will be no federal mandate. This is a decision that historically has not come from the federal government around vaccine mandates.
That has not happened ever, to my knowledge, at a national level.
And no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential.
No federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential.
I don't see it on a national.
And before I just play on some more, I'm gonna see this video how long it's gonna stay up. Esau might take this shit down again too. But we're gonna see the
level, merely because of all the situations you have upon encroaching upon persons' freedom to make their own choice.
Local businesses, local jurisdictions will work towards vaccine mandates. That is going to be locally driven and not federally driven.
Can we mandate vaccines across the country? No, that's not a role that the federal government, I think, even has the power to make.
There's no secret that I feel that we should not have central mandates from the federal government.
What I think you won't see is a requirement from the federal government to have people get vaccinated.
I wouldn't anticipate that we would be putting requirements on private sector companies.
I don't think you'll ever see a mandate of vaccine, particularly for the general public.
There will be no nationwide mandate.
Our interest is very simple, from the federal government, which is Americans' privacy and rights should be protected.
But we don't want to be mandating from the federal government to the general population. It would be unenforceable and inappropriate.
do those people sound very trustworthy? Yeah, no, that shit crazy. Let me go to this other precept I want to get. There's a few of them in line up with this. This book of Job, chapter 15, verse 31 says, let him not deceive himself with trust and emptiness, for emptiness will be his reward. And that's what's going to happen to these damn devils, because they playing around right now. And they think that these prophecies really not going to come to pass. But though you have some that do know that they're going to come to pass and feel like they're going to escape, they're just going to escape and be the first fruits of that captivity. It says in the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 5, indeed the lamp of the wicked is extinguished, the flame of his fire does not glow. And it's happening right now. Look at all this information that's out, man. I just go online and just think of a topic, see something on the news or the media, and got plenty of stuff to go into and line it right up with the scriptures. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 20 says, the one with the perverse heart finds no good, and he whose tongue is deceitful falls into trouble. And now you got Esau in the trouble with these other nations, because they don't figure their ass out too. They see how they come over across seas, set up a psyop, create a problem, and then come in and try to help you. Then completely do away with your leadership, those who in power, and set up more puppets. Now these other nations, they got the same type of swords, weaponry, so to speak, And now they talking shit. Let me go. This is another precept I want to get to as well. Let me see. Here's one of them right here as well. Now, in the book of, what it is, Malachi, if I'm mistaken, it says Esau is the border of wickedness. You got right here in the book of Job 21, it says how God would deal with the wicked. Let me just read on down. There's so much in this one, I don't even want to read the whole thing, but it's just going to go into it. Let me see. All right, verse 7, it says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, they are almighty in power, their seed is established in their sight, with them and their offspring before their eyes, their houses are safe from fear. Because they chilling. Our people, we gotta worry about your own kind trying to rob you and shit, take something from you, plot on you and all this other stuff. Esau red ass, they just slide onto their little castles or their mansions. They don't even worry about none of that. They finna go check on little Timmy or whatever. Now it says, their seed is established in their sight, with them, their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of Yahawah upon them. Not yet, but it's coming though. It says, their bull genereth and faileth not, their cow calveth, and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and the harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. That don't sound like our people. We don't enjoy wealth like that. Yeah, you have celebrities and different people that have a certain status in society, but the majority, predominant people that really enjoy that wealth, it's Esau, like the scripture say. Let me get that real quick. The border of wickedness. The book of Malachi. Chapter 1, read on down from verse 4. It says, whereas Edom said, we will not perish, but we will return and build the desolate places that saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Yahawah will be magnified from the border of Israel. Because once this judgment go down, just like Exodus, and the Pharaoh and his army got wiped out, that same story is still talked about to this day. This gonna be even bigger than that. Because that army back then, it was big, but it wasn't as big as the military that Esau got now, with the Space Force, Air Force, the Navy, the Marine, Green Berets, whatever, the Army, all that shit. It's way different now. Let me go back to the book of Job. Back in the book of Job, chapter 21. Let me see. Okay, verse 13, it says, they spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto Yahawah, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. And they don't care about so-called biblical knowledge. They more so care about us not finding out about that biblical knowledge. That's the main shit. They care about that. How can we take a person's thoughts and put it onto a damn hard drive and put it in another body? And so that's what they care about. They don't care about practicing keeping the commandments so we can live eternally, be immortal for real, and not have to put your thoughts on no damn hard drive. It's your spirit never die. Once I got it set up perfect, how stuff gonna play out anyway. And it's in the scriptures if you read it. Now verse 15 it says, what is the Almighty that we should serve him, and what profit should we have if we pray unto him? No, the good is not in the end, the counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh the destruction upon them. Yahawah distributeth sorrows in his anger. It said they are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carried away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children, every reward of him, and he shall know it. And they gonna know it. It says his eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. But what pleasure hath he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Shall any teach Yahawah knowledge, seeing he judges those that are high? One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breast are full of milk, his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in the bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. They shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worms shall cover them. So even though you got Esau sitting good, riding good, all this other stuff, you got castles, private jets, islands, you name it, they got to taste that judgment. No matter what, they can try to go to the moon, they can try to go to Mars, they can try to go to Titan, they can try to go Europa, or whatever other little moons or shit they try to find. They're not escaping. This judgment is coming. You know, it says in verse 27, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me. Like the Space Force. Space Force wasn't created to shoot no asteroids or monitor the outside space and all that. Space Force was created for what the book of 2nd Ezra said. Which I ain't gonna get it. You should know it. If not, go read the book of 2nd Ezra. And what the book of Revelation say about it being a war in heaven. That's what the Space Force for. And it says, and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me, for you say, where is the house of the prince? Where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have you not asked them that go by the way? And do you not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. It shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? Who shall repay him what he hath done? Yet shall he be brought to the grave and shall remain in the tomb. Now, this is one more precept I want to get to. Let me find that real quick. Let this video play just a little bit more, then I'll end it off with that.
Honestly, all morning I've been
so good, you gotta hear it twice. Right? That darn producer you just hired.
Is that me?
Oh, that's me talking. Yeah, that's you. That's you, Echo.
They disappeared. I was like, now we know who's watching CNN. Kurt Schleister, who works over at Town Hall, even posted out today. He was like,
And see, this guy have some information, but they can't get over this, man. People still stuck on that sweet Jesus, that pale man. They can't grasp the fact that he would look like one of us, carry himself like one of us, do some of the stuff we do. Hey, the characteristics in the scriptures about what he do. One of the first miracles is him turn the water into wine. When he had his mother telling him to go do it, who that sound like? They don't sound like nothing Esau do. They don't drink like that. That's what our people do, like to drink all the time, especially when they going through stuff or celebrating. Somebody go get some drinks. You go to the liquor store, who the main people at the liquor store? And that's just one thing. I could go on and on about the characteristics. Let me get this last precept real quick. I ain't like the rest of that video clip. I was trying to find a part I seen. And I don't want to stretch this out too much longer because I know people's attention span will be short. That's in the book of Revelation chapter 6 verse 15. It says, and the kings of the earth and the great men, the rich men, and the chief captains and the mighty men, every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Why? They're trying to escape His judgment. But they're not escaping it though. And part of the judgment, which people fail to realize still, because you look at the news, let me go back real quick. It's this right here. Get some imagery for you. And just seeing this on the image, man, that's spooky, man. Like the scriptures say, the elements should melt with fervent heat. Only one thing that's gonna make stuff melt with fervent heat. That's what they want to hide from. Because even though they have access to the weapons, the scientists created the different weapons. The Most High created the scientists to create those weapons. Like the scripture says, behold, I created the smith that blew off the coals. The Most High created them to do this. And He gonna put a spirit on them to use this. Let me just read this and I'll end this. Let me see where it was at. Alright, here we go. Book of Revelation chapter 6 verse 12, it says, and I beheld when they had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. That's why it says the earth shall rail to and fro like a drunkard, because it ain't gonna just be one of these that fall. It's gonna be numerous. So them falling back to back to back like that gonna cause the earth to shake. Rail to and fro like a drunkard. It says, and the sun became black as sackcloth. Why is it gonna become black? Now I don't mean the sun literally just gonna some Most High gonna send an angel to flick it in the lights, like a light switch, and it's gonna turn out. It's talking about how much smoke gonna be in the air, in the atmosphere, and you ain't gonna be able to see nothing. It says the sun became black as sackcloth here, and the moon became as blood. And if you see fires burning in certain areas, like the other night, there was a house on fire in one of these areas. When you look up at the sky and you see the moon, while that's going on, it looks red. It looks like blood. It says, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree cast upon the timely figs, when she is shaken in a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And every mountain and island will move out of their places. And back to what the elites want to do, those just really calling the shots. Like, you have people in the video say, why do Americans feel someone else is pulling by the strings? Because it is. People know. Sippy cup Joda. People know. All these people in the comments. And that's just those people that's in the know. There's more. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Let me go to this other one right here. So you can't make this stuff up, man. There's not no fable. The powers that be, they definitely know. It just sounds strange coming from somebody that's not classified as the elite of society, breaking this stuff down and giving you the information. So it seems far-fetched. They know it ain't far-fetched. Let me go to it real quick. What's that bunker called? Oh yeah, they for sure know it ain't far-fetched. Yes, that's what it's called, Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado. Why would they have something like this? If the world gonna go back to normal and people gonna do business and everything just gonna move and get fixed, why they got something like this for? And if you do your homework, everybody ain't getting in there. So yeah, you better Most High favor you when all this stuff going on. That's what we hope for. Me personally speaking as well. Now it says, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. It says to the mountains and the rocks. Here they go, right here in the mountains. Scroll down. This is just one of them. I'm just showing it just for edification's sake. This ain't the only one. It says to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come. And who shall be able to stand? Who gonna be able to stand? The elect gonna be able to stand. And the elect of these wicked elites gonna be able to stand, because some of them gonna make it. Because they gotta live out this prophecy right here. We'll come to it, then I end this up. Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. The controversial topic a lot of people don't like to talk about, but I always say, you reap what you sow. And talking about karma, hey, it's right here in the scriptures. He that liveth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints, and this is what we're patiently waiting on, and what we got a high level of faith in. So I just want to bring this up. I don't want to y'all this edifying. Call all y'all, sure. Shalom to the left.